I raised a baby that wasn't many. Introductions is a dangerous thing. When you give your heart completely to someone, you never imagined they could destroy your entire world with one secret. I loved my wife more than anything. I believed we had the perfect marriage, the perfect future, and eventually, the perfect child. But one phone call changed everything. The little girl I had raised for years wasn't mine, and the betrayal behind it nearly ruined my life. I met Vanessa when I was 26 years old. She walked into a coffee shop wearing a red coat and carrying 3 books pressed against her chest. She looked nervous, beautiful, and completely out of place among the loud university students crowding the cafe. I still remember how she smiled at me after accidentally spilling sugar across my table. "I'm so sorry," she laughed. I helped her clean it up, and somehow we ended up talking for 2 hours. That was the beginning of everything. Vanessa was charming in a quiet way. She wasn't flashy or loud. She listened carefully, laughed softly, and always made me feel important. Within a year, we moved in together. 2 years later, we got married in a small ceremony surrounded by family and close friends. I truly believed I had won at life. We struggled financially during the first years of marriage, but we were happy. I worked long hours as an electrician while Vanessa worked part-time at a marketing firm. We dreamed about buying a house and starting a family. Then one evening, Vanessa surprised me with the news. "I'm pregnant," she whispered, tears in her eyes. I nearly dropped the plate I was holding. "What?" She laughed and nodded. "You're going to be a dad." I picked her up and spun her around the kitchen while we both cried. That moment became one of my happiest memories. 9 months later, our daughter Lily was born. The second I held her in my arms, I felt something change inside me forever. She had tiny fingers, dark curls, and big brown eyes. I loved her instantly, with every part of my soul. Being a father became my entire identity. I worked overtime to provide for my family. I woke up in the middle of the night to change diapers. I learned how to braid hair after watching YouTube tutorials because Lily cried whenever Vanessa tried to do it too quickly. Every birthday, every scraped me, every bedtime story, I was there. Vanessa always told me I was an amazing father. "You were born for this," she'd say. And honestly, I believed her. Years passed. Lily turned 5, then 6, then 7. Life wasn't perfect, but it felt stable, comfortable, until the arguments started. At first, they were small things. Vanessa staying late at work, hiding her phone, smiling at texts and turning the screen away when I walked into the room. I noticed it, but I ignored it. Because when you love someone deeply, you become talented at lying to yourself. One Friday night, Vanessa told me she was going on a business retreat for the weekend. "It's mandatory," she explained while packing her suitcase. I kissed her forehead. "All right, have fun." But something felt wrong. That night, after Lily went to sleep, I sat alone in the living room staring at Vanessa's forgotten tablet sitting on the couch. Messages began appearing on the screen. My stomach tightened instantly. One notification popped up from a contact saved as D. "I miss you already." Then another, "Wish we could have stayed together longer this morning." My hands started shaking. I unlocked the tablet using Vanessa's birthday, and there it was. Hundreds of messages, photos, videos, hotel reservations. 3 years, 3 entire years she had been cheating on me with a man named Daniel. I felt physically sick. I couldn't breathe. My chest burned as I scrolled through conversations where they laughed about me behind my back. One message shattered me completely. "He still thinks Lily is his. It's almost funny." I reread the sentence 10 times. Then 20. My vision blurred. No, that couldn't be true. I wanted to believe it was a joke, some twisted comment taken out of context, but deep down, fear had already crawled into my heart. The next morning, I drove to my friend Marcus's house. When he opened the door, he immediately knew something was wrong. "What happened?" I handed him the tablet silently. He spent 20 minutes reading everything. Finally, he looked up slowly. "You need a DNA test." Hearing the words out loud nearly destroyed me. "She's my daughter," I whispered. Marcus sighed carefully. "I know you love her, but you deserve the truth." For the next week, I barely slept. I looked at Lily differently, not because I loved her less, but because fear poisoned every moment. I started noticing things I had ignored before. Her eyes didn't look like mine. Her smile didn't look like mine. She didn't resemble anyone in my family. I hated myself for even thinking those thoughts. Eventually, I ordered a DNA test in secret. The longest week of my life followed. Every day felt like torture. When the envelope finally arrived, I locked myself in the garage before opening it. I stared at the paper for several seconds before reading the results. Probability of paternity, 0%. I dropped the papers instantly. My legs gave out beneath me. I sat on the cold concrete floor staring into nothing while my entire world collapsed around me. 7 years. 7 years of bedtime stories. 7 years of love. 7 years of believing I was her father. Gone in one sentence. Vanessa came home later that evening smiling like nothing had happened. "How was your day?" she asked casually. I placed the DNA results on the kitchen table. Her face lost all color instantly. For several seconds, neither of us spoke. Then she whispered, "I can explain." I laughed bitterly. "That's what you say after destroying someone's life." Tears filled her eyes immediately. "I was going to tell you." "When?" I shouted. "After another 7 years." She started crying harder. "It only happened once with Daniel. And then I found out I was pregnant. I didn't know whose baby it was. You lied every single day." I was scared. I slammed my fist onto the counter. "I raised another man's child while you laughed behind my back." Vanessa covered her face, sobbing uncontrollably. But I felt nothing anymore. Just emptiness. Then came the hardest part of all. Lily walked into the kitchen. "Daddy." I immediately wiped my face and forced a smile. "Hey, sweetheart." She looked nervously between us. "Why is mommy crying?" That moment nearly broke me completely, because none of this was her fault. She was innocent, completely innocent. I knelt down and hugged her tightly. "It's okay," I whispered, but inside, nothing was okay. Over the following weeks, Vanessa moved out temporarily while we discussed divorce. Daniel apparently wanted nothing to do with Lily. According to Vanessa, he panicked when she told him the truth years ago and disappeared shortly afterward. Coward! Friends and family took sides quickly. Some people told me I should walk away completely. "She's not your responsibility," one cousin told me. But how could I walk away? Lily called me dad. I taught her how to ride a bike. I held her when she had nightmares. I packed her lunches every morning. Blood didn't erase 7 years of love. Still, the pain was unbearable. Every memory felt contaminated. Every happy moment now had betrayal attached to it. One evening, Lily sat beside me on the couch quietly drawing pictures. Then she looked up at me. "Daddy?" "Yeah. Are you gonna leave me?" My heart shattered instantly. I pulled her into my arms. "Never." And in that moment, I realized something important. Vanessa betrayed me. Daniel abandoned her. But Lily was still my daughter in every way that truly mattered. Not because of DNA, because love had made us family. The divorce process was ugly. Vanessa begged repeatedly for another chance. But I couldn't forgive what she had done. The cheating alone might have been survivable. Maybe. But lying about Lily for 7 years destroyed something too deep to repair. Eventually, we finalized shared custody arrangements. Most people thought I was crazy for staying involved. But they didn't understand. Fatherhood isn't just biology, it's sacrifice. Presence. Love. Consistency. And despite everything, Lily still deserved a father. Years later, things became calmer. Vanessa and I learned how to co-parent peacefully. The anger faded slowly, though the scars never fully disappeared. One afternoon, when Lily was 12 years old, she finally asked the question I had always dreaded. "Why don't I look like you?" I took a long breath. Then I told her the truth carefully and gently. She cried for hours. But at the end of the conversation, she hugged me tightly. "You're still my real dad," she whispered. And honestly, that meant more to me than any DNA test ever could. Today, Lily is 17. She's smart, funny, stubborn, and incredibly kind. Watching her grow up remains the greatest privilege of my life. Do I regret staying? No, I regret trusting the wrong person. I regret ignoring the warning signs. But I will never regret loving my daughter, because even though she wasn't mine by blood, she became mine by heart. And nobody can take that away from me. Thank you for listening to this story on cheating stories. If this story shocked you, touched your heart, or made you think twice about trust and betrayal, don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe to the channel for more dramatic cheating stories, relationship betrayals, and emotional real-life inspired content.